What's up, y'all? This is Moochie, and you rocking with Moochilla's Review. So hit the hammer, cause you came through. Ow. I'm talking tonight to you about Power Book 2, Season 2, Episode 5, and the name of the episode is Coming Home to Roost. We're gonna just do a little breakdown of the episode scene for scene, see if we could pick out some predictions. So let's get into it. Ow. Zeke Monette and Davis McLean are in the limo driving to the precinct to turn Zeke in for the murder of Jabari Reynolds. This was a request made by the DA's office. On their way to the office, Davis McLean tells Zeke do not talk to anyone on the inside because jailhouse snitches will do anything to save their lives. McLean tells Zeke to shut up and blend in. Tariq is at Lauren's place and he texts Davis McLean to find out if Zeke has turned himself in and they are at the precinct already. So Tariq tells Lauren that he has to leave and he'll see her in class. Davis McLean, Monette, and Zeke get inside to turn Zeke in, and ADA Jenny Sullivan lets them know that they won't be needing Zeke to turn himself in and he's free to go. Kamal Tate was getting ready to say we have another suspect, but Whitman cuts him off. So Zeke doesn't get any more information. They let Zeke go, and Monette is like, now that we can leave, we're out. So Monette and Zeke leave, and she tells him that the offers will start to come in, and he feels like he's already radioactive and that he's not going to be receiving any offers after the interview. Things get heated between Kamal Tate and Whitman, and Kamal lets Whitman know that Ramirez and Jabari were killed with the same gun and that Zeke should be cleared as a suspect completely. If Zeke hired someone to kill Jabari, why would he use Ramirez's PBA card and hand it to him? He gave them a clue. He gave them a connection. And he also stresses the fact that Tariq may be part of this case and he may be part of the drug operation through the campus. Kamal Tate also lets Whitman know that he's reading the manuscript of Jabari's novel and that it's based on a drug operation at a campus, and it sounds like it's the school's campus, Stansfield University. Tariq goes back to his dorm room and gets ready for class, and Braden is still in the bed. Tariq asks Braden, has he seen Kane? And Braden lies to him. He says he hasn't seen him, but he does tell Tariq that some of the customers have been pulled in and they are being questioned about the drugs. So Tariq basically tells him to take everything to the roof and get everything out of the room. And he gets his gun, loads it up, and puts it in his school bag. He tells Braden to stay away from the Tejadas. And I want to know, why didn't he tell him that he was messing with Kane? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Professor Milgram gets a call from Monette Tejada. She tells him that Zeke is in the clear and whatever she's doing, stop. Stay away from Zeke, stay away from her. And tells her that this is all her fault. Soon as she hangs up, Kamal Tate and Whitman comes in and asks Professor Milgram for help. They want her to read Jabari's manuscript, and she does it. You know, she just hung up from saying she's got to back off. My question is, do you think this is going to come back on her? Dante meets with Monette at her bar, and he wanted to know why did he meet her here. And she tells him she'd rather meet him here than a hotel because she doesn't trust herself. Monette lets him know that the case has been resolved and because of some recent developments, and that she doesn't need him anymore and they don't need to fight this fight together. And he lets her know that he has a trust fund, not for just Zeke, but for all of her kids. Dante lets Monet know that he wants to have a better life with her, and he's not leaving New York without her. Tariq comes to class and Lauren wants to know why he disappeared, and he tells her the truth. I have some things to do and I have to get an apartment for me and my sister. I have to find some place to live, and she tells him she wants to help. And as class starts, Professor Milgram writes on the board in big letters, karma. Laura tells the meaning of karma and where it comes from, and she deviates from the lesson, from the syllabus, and she's basically coming after Tariq at this point. Tariq explains how karma is the law of cause and effect, And Councilman Tate tries to defuse the situation, but he is unsuccessful. Professor Milgram feels like Tariq's answer is not enough and she wants him to dig deeper. And then she says, "You cannot escape your sins no matter how fast and how far you may run. They will always catch up to you. Wouldn't you agree, Tariq?" Tariq and Lauren leave class and they see Zeke, and Monette is waiting for Tariq and tells him, "Let's go for a ride." She wants Tariq to earn her respect back. She wants Tariq to find out who's Kane's connect. And this is the way he can earn her respect back. Now, all this time, Monet is sitting there with the gun on her lap like she's going to shoot him. She tells him, "I should actually shoot you." But he lets her know, "Look, I set up the meet with Davis McLean to get him off." But she doesn't care. She just wants him to earn her respect back and her trust. Professor Milgram, aka Keylock, she reads the manuscript and she lets Whitman and Kamal know that the book is about Tariq and maybe Professor Jabari Reynolds was getting close and Tariq killed him. All of the drugs were connected to a white guy, and then Milgram suggests that Braden sounds like he's the preppy white guy that everybody was talking about that they pulled in, and he says that the wire is the key. So Kamal Tate suggests that the wire is the key and they need to get more information on tape. Annette gets back to the house and she tells Kane that Tariq told her the truth about how Jabari was killed. And she wants Kane to find out what is Tariq's soft spot, his weakness, because she needs to find his weakness to control him. So now Monette is pitting Kane against Tariq. So Kane is willing to do anything to get back in with Monette's good graces. So he's gonna do some investigating. Lauren comes to Professor Milgram's office. She tells Professor that she doesn't want to wear the watch anymore, and Professor Milgram manipulates her. She tries to get her to talk about Tariq and Braden, and I'm kind of mad at her at this point because what she did, this kid is innocent. She's not really a street kid. So she basically uses a scare tactic to get her to keep wearing the watch. Professor Milgram does this by telling Laura that they're really after Braden and to keep Tariq safe. Kane shows up at Braden and Tariq's room looking for Tariq. Lauren shows up for Tariq and asks, "How did Kane know Tariq?" And he said he doesn't know Tariq. But Kane is looking at Lauren like she's a steak and he's like a wolf. And he finds out about Tariq looking for an apartment. Braden tries to defuse everything and he shuts everything down and takes Lauren with him and they leave the room. As you know, Lauren is still wearing the watch and she gets all of this on the wire where they know that his name is Lorenzo and they know that he's related to Zeke. And now they even know that the mother was up there. So I want to know how this is going to play out. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Tariq meets with Darren Warren, the lawyer that is handling his father's estate, and Darren Warren has also filed a claim against Big Mama misappropriating the trust fund. Tariq tells the lawyer that he wants to have custody of his little sister, and Tariq wants him to represent him in court. At first, he's reluctant, but then he says, "If you can reach all the requirements by tomorrow, I will stand up for you and I will say that you should have your sister." Kane meets with Mecca, and once again, he tells Mecca all of his business. He still expresses how jealous he is of Tariq and how he thought he was going to get in more trouble by Monet. Mecca tells him that he's Monet's plug and that he has more control than he thinks he does. He could force Monet's hand. He could make sure that Monet doesn't supply Tariq. At this point, Mecca knows Kane murdered Jabari. Drew is up at the school visiting Everett, and they having one of their makeout sessions when there's a knock on the door, and it's Zeke. Zeke changed his hair color to blonde, and he letting everybody know that there's a new Zeke in town, and he's not taking orders from nobody, especially Monet. Drew has the game controller acting as if he was playing video games with Everett. They was playing with each other's joysticks, all right. Ew. So Zeke asks Everett, how does he know Drew? And they lie and say that they met from the night at the club when everything happened. So ever seemed like he's kind of pissed off that he lied about it, but Drew is like, what did you want me to do? Tell the truth? Tariq meets with Diana. He tells her that he needs more product. And he also tells her that Monette shut down Course Correct. She wants to know what he needs the product for. And he explains he has to get custody of his sister, he needs to pay for a lawyer, and he has to pay for an apartment. But he doesn't want to deal with Kane because he doesn't trust him. And she lets Tariq know that she doesn't trust Kane either. And she wants to find out what he's doing. And she also lets him know that she thinks that Kane switched the cocaine with sugar. Diana lets Tariq know that it seems odd that Ramirez's body came up just in time to clear Zeke. And she's not trusting Kane at all. So right after she meets up with Tariq, she meets with Kane. Diana's making moves in this episode. And she lets him know that Tariq needs the product and he basically doesn't want to help. But she tells Kane what he needs the product for, and she also tells that she will tell Monet that he put sugar in the Coke. Lauren meets with Kamal Tate, Professor Milgram, and Detective Whitman, and they hear the conversation between Kane, Braden, and her. Kane tells Lauren that his name is Lorenzo, and Lauren asks if he knew Tariq, and he says he doesn't know Tariq, but Tariq knows his cousin. She doesn't want to do this anymore. However, Kamal Tate wants to upgrade the listening device so he can listen live, and he's pressing her to go harder to get more information. In the middle of the meeting, Whitman goes out and runs. It comes back that Kane has a record for assault and different crimes. He tells Kamal Tate that this might be their guy, but Kamal is not trying to hear that. Monette goes and visits her husband, Lorenzo. She tells him how Zeke is free and everything worked out. And he tells her she should have faith, and she admits it. In the middle of the visit, Lorenzo gets a phone call, and it's Cooper Sachs. And he cuts his visit short with Monette to take the call with Sachs. But she has no idea who he is on the phone with. My question is, do you think that Lorenzo snitched, or do you think he was giving Sachs a breakdown of the case? Let me know what you think in the comments. Whitman goes to meet with ADA Jenny Sullivan against Kamal Tate's wishes. Whitman tells Jenny about the lead that he has with Kane Tejada. He breaks down how Zeke is tied in with Kane and Lorenzo Tejada, and Sachs walks in. Jenny gets her stuff. She cuts the conversation short and she leaves Whitman. And Sachs wants to know who's Whitman. Are we going to see some kind of brawl here with the white boys? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I hope Sachs whip his ass. That's what. Kane meets with Braden to give Braden the product that he wants. Kane wants to know why Tariq didn't show up, because Tariq is supposed to be there. Braden tells him, I just show up where he tells me to. Kane wants to know what he needs the product for because they just picked up. And Braden tells him he doesn't know. When this whole thing is transpiring, Tariq is watching the whole exchange go down. So Kane is on the move and Tariq follows him. Tariq follows him. We finally got Tariq behind the wheel. He driving. Ow. Ow. I know it's Lauren's car, but it doesn't matter. He's following Kane, and he watches the whole him make the drop off with the money. So Tariq gets a name, Mecca, and a location. But he wants to get a closer look. He gets yoked up by Nuff. He gets yoked up, roughed up by Nuff. And the chef, Mecca, and Kane see all of this on the camera. Chef Eric asks Kane if he knew this kid, and he says no. He says he doesn't know him. But even Mecca knows that he's lying. Chef Eric don't believe him. But they play along with it. And The chef tells Nuff to let him go, but he gives Tariq a little beating. It is detrimental, y'all, for Tariq to learn how to fight because he is in the game. He gotta learn how to throw his hands. He goes to the Tejada house roughed up. Diana sees him and wants to know what happened, but Monette is not there. Drew pulls up and he has Everett with him, and they all go inside and Everett leaves. So basically, Diana nurses Tariq's wounds. So Chef Eric tells Mecca that he doesn't believe that Tariq was with Mahoney's crew because he wouldn't have come alone and he wouldn't have came unarmed. He also tells Mecca that Mahoney would never send one of his soldiers alone. Eric lets Mecca know that he thinks Kane was lying, but he doesn't admit it. Nuff is bragging about how he beat up the little kid. You could see it's a kid. And he doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut. And Mecca tells Nuff if you wasn't sure that he wasn't with Mahoney, you shouldn't have put hands on that kid. What with a civilian complaint, it puts us all at risk. Mecca gives Chef Eric a signal, a subtle signal, and it's lights out, baby. It's lights out, rockabye, baby. Nuff is gone. He slits his throat, y'all, and lets it bleed out into the ice. And at this point, Kane looks scared. So Davis Meth McClain visits his brother Theo Rollins in jail. They discuss how McClain got Zeke cleared and how Zeke's interview was a mess on TV. He also lets him know how Sachs is getting one of his clients out of jail, and it's under the same circumstances similar to his case. McClain says if he gets him out, he's going to put this lawyer on Theo's case. And Theo tells him, "Are you sure you want to do this? I'm all right in here." But Davis assures him that it's going to be all right and he'll do anything to get him out. And Theo tells him, "I will do anything to keep you out." I want to know, what do y'all think Davis did? You think Davis actually did the murder and they just caught the brother and arrested the brother? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Tariq gets to the viewing of the apartment late and the realtor tells him that the apartment's not available. Lauren sees Tariq's face is all beat up and wants to know what happened. Tariq tells Lauren that he got robbed. Lauren helps Tariq with a place to stay, and Lauren gives the keys to her brother's apartment to Tariq because her brother is in a halfway house. And she lets him know he could stay there temporarily. She gives him the lease, and she tells him that if he lives here, he wouldn't have to stay with Braden anymore. She asks Tariq about Braden being happy about Professor Reynolds dying, and she also mentions the book about that the professor was writing. And Tariq assures Lauren that the book was not about Braden and that the professor only writes about black people. So Tariq tells her thank you for helping him, and they kiss. And all of this time, the watch is recording everything, and Tate is in the van outside. Kamal Tate and Whitman. So Kamal feels like, all right, we got a case now, and now we got cause to go dig in this guy's room and look for stuff. And they do, but it's not strong enough. Y'all know Whitman feel like this is not their guy, right? This is not their guy. They're on the wrong person, but he has to go along with it because Kamal Tate is the lead. Kamal Tate also lets Whitman know that Tariq St. Patrick was suspended and kicked out of Choate for drugs. Kane goes back home and hands Monette Tariq's phone and lets her know about the custody hearing. Kane also lets Monette know that by her telling Tariq to follow him could have got both of them killed. He says, "You've been doing this the whole time," and he was blaming Tariq. And Monette has been orchestrating everything. Monette tells Kane she didn't tell him to kill Ramirez, and also how she will do anything and everything in her power to make sure that this family doesn't fall. So Kane is really upset. Kane feels that Monet thinks that he's stupid, and he sees that Monet has been playing Tariq against him, and he tells her she's a joke. He tells her, Kane asks his mother, "What am I to you? Your son or your soul or your soldier?" She says, "You're both." And he says, "What kind of mother does that make you?" Now my question is, do you think this is gonna be the repair of Tariq's relationship with Kane, or is it still gonna be him jealous of him? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Tariq is about to walk in the custody hearing for his sister, and Monet is outside in front of the courthouse. Monet makes him get in the car, tells him that you failed me. She tells him that we are going to sit here and you're going to lose your sister. To me, this is the first time we see Tariq show that he is his father's son, y'all. I call it his first ghost moment. So let me know what y'all think. Do you think this was Tariq's first ghost moment or nah? Let me know. And so Monet lets Tariq go. He goes into court. He gets there just in the nick of time. The judge sees his face. Big Mama sees his face, how he looks beat up. And Tariq walks into the custody hearing for his sister. And Darren Warren stands up and represents him. So they find out that Big Mama was misappropriating funds. And Tariq lets everybody know he loves his grandmother. And his family is going through hard times. And he wants to be with his sister. And Big Mama stands up and says he's just a baby, which is true. And he has the means, he has an apartment, he has a job, and he's showing that he just wants a chance to take care of his little sister just until Big Mama gets on her feet. So Tariq is given a chance, he's granted custody, and it's going to take just a little bit of time, maybe 2 weeks, for him to actually get his sister. Now, in the meantime, Kamal Tate is searching through Tariq's room, and he finds this dirty badge. Now this badge got dirt on it from when he was buried, and I don't know how they trying to say that he can't see through his own eyes that this was planted there. I feel like the dirt from the burial scene where Ramirez's body was found is going to put Tariq in the clear, because when this all happened, Tariq is going to have an alibi. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Monet meets with Dante and she feels defeated. She feels like she led her kids down the wrong path. She says her children don't trust her and they don't trust each other, and maybe they do need a fresh start. Monet wants Dante to meet Zeke, but she first wants to sit down and talk to her children before she does anything else. But she's letting him know she wants to go off with him and be with him. So Tariq talks to Yaz after he gets out, and he lets her know that he's going to get everything prepared for her. They have a place to live, and he's just, as soon as he gets the place prepared, he's going to pick her up. Tariq gets back to the campus. Everyone's outside. There's police outside. Braden tries to give him a heads up, but Kamal Tate is right behind him, and he arrests him for the murder of Danilo Ramirez as well as Jabari Reynolds. So he's arrested not for one, but 2 murders. And it seems as if the entire campus sees this going on. Professor Milgram tries to hold back Lauren and tells her he's getting what he deserves. And my question is, do you think once Tariq is clear, because I think he will be, is this going to backfire on Professor Milgram, and will she be fired from her job? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I just wanted to add that I thought this scene was played out well because they used the same exact song when Ghost was arrested for killing Mox, for killing Greg. So let me know what y'all think in the comments, because everybody was there. humiliated in front of all of his students. Tate, he looks like he can't believe that he actually got arrested, but he's got like kind of like a smirk on his face. Zeke looks crazy. Everett's there. You name it, everybody's there that's from school. So after this, Davis McClain gets a phone call and he catches a taxi. Do you think he's going to get up with Tariq? Because I believe he is on retainer for Tariq. Because after that, I think Tariq kept him on as a lawyer, so he was paying him every month. So Davis McClain is going to be his lawyer, I think. So Tariq is in his cell. He gets word from the CO that his attorney is there, and it is Darren Warren, the handler of James St. Patrick Ghost Trust. He has a letter for Tariq, and the letter was only supposed to be given to Tariq in the case if he gets arrested for a homicide. So he gets back to his cell, he opens this letter, and the letter says, I knew you was gonna end up here, little nigga. You right where you belong. Now, I just wish they would have used the ghost voice, but this whole thing was crazy. So Monet pulls into her driveway, and just as she's turning the key to enter the house, she hears laughter and a whole bunch of Spanish chatter. She hears all of that, and Lorenzo is at the head of the table. The whole family is smiling, they're celebrating, and Kane says to her, how did you keep this a secret? And this is why you've been acting so weird. And she says, I wanted to surprise everyone. Lorenzo's like, Mo, I'm home. But the look on Diana's face is priceless because she knows that her mama's lying. Because Diana got her daddy out. Now, I want to know the conversation that they have, I believe is going to be kept between them. I also believe that this will cause a lot of division in the family. And we're going to see who picks what side. I feel like everybody right now at this point is mad at the mother. And they might want to go with daddy in the beginning. Especially Diana. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I feel like Diana was making moves this episode. And it's a lot more of her that we're going to see. Let me know what y'all think. So that was my review of episode 5, Coming Home to Roost. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the hammer because you came by. Answer the questions in the comments. And please look forward to viewing my next video. Later. Ow.